In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What is up, everybody? My name is Ryan. Welcome to the ToastOnRye Podcast. Today, I got my friend back on the podcast. My great friend, my brother, Bailey T. Laird. How you doing, man?
What's with the T? There was no need for the T.
What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Oh, you know, I mean, it's 11 o'clock at night. We kind of spent 2 hours watching Game Grumps and other videos
That's
on YouTube.
Fine.
I mean, hey, man, we were just chilling. You know what I mean?
What's bracking, bruh? How you living?
Oh, man. But, I mean, this is what you're... actually, this is one of our last times hanging out before you go back to college for 2 weeks and then come back for a week, which is still stupid, but, you know, it is what it is.
The whole winter system they have for classes sometimes is questionable, but, you know, it's fine. It's fine.
Isn't college questionable to begin with anyway?
Very questionable.
I mean,
very questionable.
I personally always question school and the purpose of college in general. But, I mean, eventually it's going to work out. So, I mean, you know. I mean, like, we already know how much time I wasted. I mean, I wouldn't call it a waste of time. I'm sure I'll be able to use what I'm going to school for eventually. But it seems like it's a waste of time, you know?
You're at the point... You're not enjoying yourself just yet. You're just kind of going through it, getting through it. And that's what most people in college have to do at first because you're stuck doing like bullshit gen eds.
Oh, man, dude. Gen eds. I hate gen eds, dude. Oh, my God.
Instead of going for what you actually are there for.
Yeah.
Like the technical college system really has it laid out.
It really does. I mean, like,
they just don't offer the stuff you really want to do. It's more the trade school stuff.
Especially for like IT or like nursing or something. You can go to a community college and do nursing and then make, well, not a gajillion like amounts of dollars, but
in the medical field, you make a lot of money. So
exactly. So it's like if you went to like your local college for nursing instead of a 4-year, it's like you could have saved so much money to do nursing when you were going to make... I mean, like, yeah, like some people are like, oh, I'm going to make that money back and I want that college experience. But in reality, it's like, was it really worth it, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I kind of stopped worrying about the money part of college. I'm sure that I'm going to, you know, regret
that once
those bills start hitting where it's like, hey, where's our money? Like,
but you're like, ooh, about that.
But yeah. For now, it's just kind of like, I'm going to be there for somewhat longer amount of time than I was expecting. So I might as well just enjoy it while I can, make the most out of every semester and year overall.
And really, that's all you can do, too. I mean, that's what I'm trying to do, too, just trying to learn as much as we can for, you know, the future of our careers and stuff to, you know, I mean, like, granted, like, with the program that I'm taking, I figured it was going to be like a little bit like, I thought it was going to be way different than what it actually is. The program that I'm in is basically for people that want to start a business. And I'm not trying to start a business. So it's like when I'm in these like classes and they're like, so what's your business plan? I'm like, sorry, what?
Make that money, bitch.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Writes that on that's the title of your next essay in your business class. What is your business plan? And then just type it out here. Make That Money, Bitch by Ryan L. Patton.
I'd get a solid B in that at least. Oh, man.
A solid B.
Like
nothing over the top, nothing lackluster.
Anyway, one of our main topics for today's episode, I found this really funny when I was on Twitter the other day. Well, I mean, like this happened. Oh, voice crack, by the way. But
that can be fixed in post. It's fine.
No, it can't.
Oh shit. Okay.
That's just gonna be on the official thing. So, go ahead and roast me in the comments if you're on YouTube. Go ahead and do that.
I'll do that. As soon as I get that post notification,
to be like, your voice cracked. You better put the time code in there too. Okay, but anyway, I was on Twitter the other day, and I saw this like little like I followed this like not world news, just kind of just internet news or whatever. So Twitch banned some words on their site.
Okay, I've never been on Twitch actually.
Really?
Nah.
You don't have like a streamer that you're into or anything like that?
Nope. I mean, if there is any streaming that I like from a YouTuber or something like that, they're usually like I mean, like, you look at Game Grumps, they're just straight up on YouTube and they post everything
That's true,
to YouTube.
yeah.
So not that I don't have not that I have anything against Twitch or anything, just I never used it.
So if the Game Grumps did become Twitch streamers, you would. So like basically for you to enjoy Twitch streaming, you would probably have to watch someone that you're actually invested in. Mm-hmm. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, because it's like for me, I didn't start really getting into Twitch until Logic got on Twitch. Like, because, since he quit rap, he's like, well, I still have a baby, so I'm going to have to find a way.
I still need an income. But.
Right, especially during a pandemic. I mean, he said that he was still going to tour and stuff, but,
yeah,
he's like, bro, I got a kid, so like, hey, something about Twitch.
Gotta secure the bag. It doesn't matter.
You gotta. But I mean, he's got that platform, so I mean, I think it's a little bit easier for him to start Twitch because he already has a ton of fans behind his back. But
exactly.
The funny thing about Twitch right now, though, is that they banned the words simp, virgin,
okay,
and incel.
Okay.
Oh wait, hold on. Do you know what an incel is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just I can't get over simp. Like they must have said it so much. That's just okay. We're not.
I mean, but then like a lot of people use the word simp wrong anyway. Like it's like, you fucking simp. You're nice to women. Like, well, yeah,
they're supposed to be nice to everyone.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, how does that make me a simp, bro? And like that's basically just 12, 13-year-olds on, on like a PS5 live like chat or something like that, or Xbox 360 chat room. Like that's something that would happen.
That's all they have. So
right.
Just
exactly. So it's like it's like they don't know what it means, but I find it funny because I feel like somebody like just reported it, started crying and everything. Like they're calling me simp in the chat.
So somebody probably spam anonymously post, "Hey, I'm kind of getting tired of being called a virgin on here. Can you handle that?" And
like being a virgin is not even a bad thing. Like it's not. It's like being a virgin is only bad if you make it bad. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like if you.
Oh no, you didn't have sex yet. Oh no.
Cool.
We better roast you in front of society. Like, who cares?
It's really not that big of a deal. Are you a functioning member of society?
You're not gonna go up to someone in a McDonald's, bring your friend, and be like, "Oh my god, this guy's a virgin."
That's not gonna be on the job interview either. So it's like
they're literally gonna be like,
"Sir, are you a virgin?"
Cool. Can I take your order? I'm not here to know about everyone's sexual. Experience. I don't care. I'm just,
You're just vibing through life.
Yeah.
Just like as you should be, King.
Yeah. Most people should be. It's just.
So like, do you think Twitch went too far with banning the word simp? Or
I mean, I don't know.
And virgin and incel. Because here's the thing. Being an incel is a bad thing. We should be insulting the incels to get them out of that.
But simp is like people use the word wrong, and virgin, who cares? So I don't know. Maybe incel is probably something like, yeah, maybe we should get rid of that word on there. But like, I don't know about simp and virgin. It's just kind of like I don't know. People are really sensitive now too,
and plus I don't think Twitch realizes
overly sensitive.
Well, because like there's a lot of Twitch streamers who are like e-girls, which again, not a bad thing. I personally don't vibe with it. Like I'm not attention starved enough to give like a e-girl Twitch streamer like $50 or whatever just to talk to me on their stream. I'm not that lonely, but but I think I don't think Twitch realizes that that's like a majority of their
it's your money, bro. You can do what you want with it.
That is a majority. And I wouldn't want to say majority because I don't know specifically, but I feel like that's a lot of their demographic already. I'm sure they didn't want it, but there's a lot of simps on Twitch. So like,
speaking of virgins, you like that segue, by the way?
No, I don't.
I was gonna relate it to I'm a virgin. Let me explain. No, boy. I'm a virgin when it comes to just the whole gaming community in general, because it's like I play what I play,
right?
But it's not like, okay, you gotta look at it this way. Like probably the big reason why I'm not part of Twitch and really that big a part. One, there's only so many hours of the day. Like,
oh, for sure.
There's already all this other stuff I'm invested in and like interested in and have to do for like school or for work or whatever. So one, that's just another 2 hours taken out of my day on Twitch when I could be doing something else. So that's kind of like,
and it's one thing if it's like that's your main entertainment, then like that's totally fine.
All the power to you. Like my big thing is probably if I want to spend some time just watching stuff on the internet, it's probably going to be on YouTube or something.
Yeah.
Or watch it on streaming or something. Not.
So then, okay. So would you rather watch a stream on YouTube then, or it doesn't matter?
It doesn't really matter. I was about to say, for me with like the gaming thing, I was saying, I'm pretty much like a virgin to this community because you just like me say I'm a virgin.
No, that's not it. It's the segue that you used. Just like, no, speaking of virgins, like what? But no, go ahead.
But yeah, I've always been kind of like gaming's such a weird community to me all the time now, just because it's like, look at it this way. When I was a kid, my big things were movies. It still is.
Yeah.
Me and my dad connected over that. And like cartoons and all this shit. And hell, I love the fucking color too. Like it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Then when it came time to get like video games and like once that started getting introduced, I was one of those guys with the OG DS, like,
Hey,
like
DSs were lit too.
Yeah, no doubt. Hell, that was the OG Switch.
Yeah,
I mean, that's pretty much, yeah. But I was always the kid who was, all my friends were gamers and I wasn't because I didn't have any access to those games. I had a PS2 at the time, which was lit. I had a SpongeBob controller, which was awesome. and I flicked the nose all the time.
Yeah.
They didn't need to add the nose. There was no reason for that.
Looks at the camera for that. It's like, hey, PlayStation, you did not have to pop off like that.
Creative officer of that remote from like 12 years ago. Why? But no, yeah, it was a lot of fun. But then it's just, okay, after the PS2 got outdated, PS3 came along. And every year I was like, come on. I want a PS3. I want a Xbox 360.
Give me a PS3,
like,
please.
I was more of a PlayStation guy even from back then, but I was just like, okay, come on. And we had the Wii. So it was like, okay, there's nothing wrong with that. The Wii was lit.
Yeah.
Can't really play online with your friends though.
Or it's like you could, but it's like no one is really doing that.
We're not hopping on the Wii lobby to play Wii Sports. Right. So then it finally came down to it when it was like, okay, it's going to be the Xbox One and the PS4. And I'm like, okay, Dad, I love you, but the Wii's not cutting it anymore. All my friends play Xbox or PS4, mainly the PS4. They were all PlayStation kids. Can we please get the PS4? That's all I want. I don't want anything else for the next 5 years. I just want a PS4. And it's like, but we would have to start over because it's like we had nothing but Wii games. So now all those are useless because they're only for the Wii. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're good.
So yeah, it was just weird. And Christmas morning came. I'm like, all right, Santa. Let's get Santa. It was my dad. But point is, like, all right, let's go. What's in this box? The Wii U.
And you were like, oh my God, thank you. But
oh my God, I love it. But it's not what I fucking asked for. Exactly. Obviously, I was appreciative. But I was just like, damn it. So even to this day, even when I get, because I'm saving up for the 5 right now.
Yes,
but like,
dude, same.
But even if it was the Xbox or even if it was the Switch or whatever, I'm always gonna feel somewhat of an outsider to this community just from my upbringing and my experience with that. So that's why whenever someone's just like, oh, did you check out the latest Twitch stream? I'm like, I barely know what a joystick is. Like, I barely know. Like,
that's a little extreme,
bro. We were playing with the Switch the other day, and it's like I am not experienced with it because even if my brother has it, that's his Switch, so I don't really mess with it. So I'm like, we're trying to play Smash the other day. It took this man 10 minutes to set up the Smash Bros. Lobby.
Oh my God, I don't own a Switch. So
I cringed so hard. We're sitting, not that I could have done better, but I'm just sitting here like, okay, the game's loading up, whatever. Here, Ryan, you're having trouble, hand it to me. And you kept looking at the TV like, oh, I got this shit right here. I got this shit. You asked the guy, we were in our friend's apartment, and you asked his roommate, hey, how do I do this?
I don't own a Switch. Like, I love Smash, but I don't own one. So I've always played Smash on like just different forms of Nintendo media.
So it was the Wii.
My
brother had Smash Bros. Brawl. That was the one that we played a lot.
I think that's for me personally, that's one of the best. I feel like some like hardcore gaming people that are listening, they're like, oh, excuse, I like, maybe they think Smash Brawl sucks, but they'd be like, oh, really? That's the best one to you? I was like, yeah, that's the one I remember the most.
That's the only one I played back in the. I played that, and then they came out with like the newer ones for the Switch, and that was for the Wii U. Yeah, and that's about it.
Hey. So. I am a shameless Kirby main, so I don't care what anybody says. That is the character that I just know how to use the most for some reason.
It kind of varies. When we were playing the other day, I got used to Sonic because I never got to play as him before, but because the Smash we were playing had all the characters unlocked. Yeah. But normally it's like I'm Pit from Kid Icarus. That's usually my main, and I don't know why. Mainly because it annoyed the hell out of people whenever he's like, stay back, and the shields come up. And I would just kept spamming that instead of fighting, and they'd get pissed off.
Nah, I became a Kirby main because when I first started playing Smash, I was never a Nintendo kid. So half the actually 90% of the characters that are like on like Smash Bros, I was like, who the fuck is this? Like, you know what I mean?
There's a lot of them where I'm like, where the hell did you come from?
So it's like, I knew who, like, I think like the three characters I knew were like Mario, Sonic, I think Captain Falcon, and then Kirby. So like, I was like, well, Mario is ass. I don't know how to use Sonic. Captain Falcon, I didn't know how to use him yet. And then Kirby was just a button mash character. You could win by button mashing. So I was like, bet, I'll use Kirby.
And he's low-key OP because he can just take your powers anyway. So it's just like...
And that goddamn hammer, dude. Like, but like, it only works if you have enough build-up. So like, you got to use it at the right time.
You got to time it right.
Yeah, because it's like, if I'm just in here building it up and then I'm inching towards you and I swing and I miss, well,
and
damn.
I jump or
I miss, well, damn. Like
you cannot use the hammer prematurely. It'll be your downfall.
Exactly. So you just got to know how to use it well. So, but
that's totally fair.
No, I totally understand you like kind of like feeling weird towards the gaming community because like I mean even when we were playing Minecraft that first time together, you were like, I've always hated it. I was like, why? Because all the people in the Minecraft community just like made me feel bad about it.
Like, literally, when I was a kid, Minecraft was huge. Like, crazy to think it was around when we were still in elementary, but like it wasn't big, I guess, for around myself until like sixth grade.
Same for me. Yeah, same for me.
And everyone was hopping on. So, oh my god, do you play? I was like, not really. I played like once or twice. Like, basic. I was like, okay, already it's off to a great start.
I literally played just to fit in at the time.
Yeah. But because I didn't know, like, okay. Obviously, in real life, I know what an ore is, but when it came to that game, that was the first time I heard some of those terms, like ore.
Right.
I was like, what's an ore? Everyone in the class turned around and looked at me, and like 3 of them told me to kill myself right there. So I'm like...
over Minecraft?
Over Minecraft. Oh so I'm God. Just like, okay. Yeah, this is not worth my time. And I just kind of stayed to myself.
Nah, I totally get that.
So, it's fine now.
I had the same kind of experience. Like, not really. Like for the most part, the people that I play with didn't really like care. But there was like this one kid I used to hang out with where he was just like such a noob. I was like, well, yeah, I'm new to the game. Like what is that supposed to mean?
There's nothing wrong with somebody being a noob because they're hopping on at a different time than you did.
Yeah, and honestly, I still am a noob a little bit just because like I hopped off the game after I want to say 7th or 8th grade.
Noob.
Like, oh yeah, aren't you still stuck on creative in one of our realms?
You didn't have to out me like that, but that's cool.
I mean, it is cool though.
Not even stuck on creative. I just choose to be in creative. It's just fun to build.
Yeah, that's honestly the main reason why I like the game. I like the challenge of survival and mining and stuff, but then my problem is the monsters. Those are the most annoying fucking things in that goddamn game. I literally like walked in a mine once, and not even 5 seconds into me mining, a fucking zombie just spawns. I'm like, bitch, I just got here. Why are you here? Just like that annoys me when I'm mining in that game.
I got you.
I was also always on Call of Duty. I
miss the old COD lobbies.
Dude, Black awesome. Ops 2 is still the best COD. I don't care what anybody says.
No doubt.
That's the best COD. It just had the best gun lineup, the best maps, best campaign. Yes, I shamelessly played the campaign. And yeah, no, it was just the best. And I still have my 360. Well, actually, not recently. I have no idea where it is right now because we just stopped using it.
It's either in the basement or it was a fever dream. Basically,
like it literally, right at this point. But like even at, like a few years ago, I still have BO2, and I would just turn it on for that nostalgia factor. Like, oh, here we go. Like we're in the lobbies and stuff. But they shut down the servers a while ago. So
the last time I played with a Switch, I just thought about besides the other day when we were waiting for you to set up the Smash game.
Shut up.
But no, when we the last time that I touched the Switch before that was at a Walmart in 3 a.m. I went with my friend after I forgot what we were doing. I think it was like after we both got off work and we went to go get dinner, and it was a late dinner or something.
You said it was at Walmart?
Yeah, and then we went to Walmart. This is before, the pandemic, so it's
for sure, yeah.
They were open 24 hours.
Right, yeah.
Now they close somewhat early, but we would go there at like, I shouldn't say 3 a.m., like 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah, that's still relatively close.
Hey, do you want to like fuck around in Walmart? Why not? And then we just walked around and just like played like football with the fucking toy footballs in there, or like
what the best part about that too is Walmart doesn't give a fuck.
They don't get paid enough.
They don't get paid enough to care.
And the shit that you see that walks into Walmart, like it's one thing for me to go at like 1:30 in the morning to fuck around because there's nobody there. We don't actually like fuck around that much. Like we're not trying to get kicked out,
right?
And we end up buying something at least, so we're not just wasting their time. There are some motherfuckers there that when I'm just going shopping with my mom, or like I have to go run and get school supplies or something because they got pretty cheap school supplies there. You see some of the weirdest fucking people walk in there sometimes.
Oh,
including my dad.
I bet.
No.
Your dad listens to this.
I know. Nah. I give him crap, but this was a lot of fun. We got to he and my stepmom and even me, I joined in once. We would go in there and they like to pretend like they're an angry married couple that are like on the verge of divorce and make everyone uncomfortable as hell. Like they'd go up to the register, especially when it's late like that. Like when it's late and there's like it's the third shifters who are like tired and they're like, what the hell is going on?
They're just trying to restock shit. Like
they get up to the register. It's like, can you hand me my wallet? I thought you already grabbed your damn wallet. Well, I wouldn't be asking you if I didn't grab. And they're just like super aggressive and loud. And the cashier's just like, are you part of the rewards program? Like they don't know what to say.
The goddamn rewards program. Oh my god, there's this one time. This was back when we used to work at the theater.
Good old days.
I don't know if we closed that night together or not. I think no, you were on break. So, probably, yeah. I think it was this family of like 4 that came up to my line, right? And they asked for like a large popcorn, and then they were trying to like figure out what drinks they wanted, right? That was the downfall, was the drinks. Like everyone could agree on popcorn, but the mom and the dad were just like, what do you guys have? Oh, we have Coke products. Honey, what do you want? Do they got Pepsi? No, they have Coke. I'm gonna do like a random name, Jared or some shit like that. No, Jared, they have Coke products. You didn't hear the man? And I'm just like, I can just get you all cherry Coke. Like, is that sound? They're like, yeah, that sounds great. And they kept arguing as I'm getting their shit. So, like, as I came back, they were kind of wrapping up their argument. The kids were just looking at the candy like, can this just be over? Like,
oh my God, I'm just trying to watch Endgame. Can we please?
No, I don't remember. I think this was around when Obama. No, you weren't there then because you were
at school.
Yeah, you were at school. So somebody else was there.
This was on your birthday then, maybe?
Yes, it was on my birthday.
It was on your birthday?
It was on my fucking
damn.
birthday. Yeah, but yeah. So like they were seeing Onward, not Onward. It was Abominable. Okay. So of course that was like the family movie of that day. So yeah, the kids were just looking at the candy like, can this just be over already? Yes. And after that, they were still kind of bickering as I was trying to get them to pay. So like I was just like, excuse me. They're like, what? Are you part of our rewards program? And they're like, oh yeah, here's my phone number. Like they immediately calmed down.
The second that the parents started opening their mouth, the kids are just like, oh my God. They're going to start this shit again. That reminds me of, I had to work Thanksgiving and I was pissed because because the way it was set up at the time, secret to the theater, head ass. No. But nah, when it was set up at the time, for the holidays, because once Thanksgiving was about to roll around, they were really starting to plan out the holidays because you could get time and a half. So it's like, oh boy, and you did not have to work holidays. They didn't force you. Obviously, if they were short staffed or something, they kind of like, hey, can you like please work?
Right.
But like, you weren't going to be forced to work during the holiday, like the day of Christmas or the day of Thanksgiving or like whatever the point was.
Yeah.
I specifically said I didn't want to work any of those holidays because it was going to be one of the last bits of holidays that I was going to have before I had to go off to college.
Right, yeah, exactly.
It was around that time. They forced me to work Thanksgiving, though. I didn't have to work Christmas or Christmas Eve or even New Year's or anything.
That's a plus because I had
to.
So
it was a plus for Christmas at least. But they forced me to work Thanksgiving. When I specifically said I didn't want to work Thanksgiving, it was either the day before or the day. Like I said, I wanted to work Black Friday. So I'm like, I'm not gonna go out to the stores anyway. So let me work Black Friday. Like there you go. They forced me to work Thanksgiving and didn't even give me the position that I asked for that night because you could also sign up for positions. I was like, I wanted to be at the podium where they rip the tickets and all that.
Yeah.
They forced me to be in concessions. I was like, oh my God. So it's Thanksgiving at the movie theater and concessions.
And no one's there, right?
It was actually pretty busy.
Oh, really? Okay.
It's always tricky because with holidays, it will be busy, but you don't think. But that's because for us, most people have, a full family and have plans on the holidays and have at least somebody to be with. There's a lot of people in the world that don't or choose not to. So like Christmas, there are plenty of people that come in and go watch movies for Christmas the whole day and then leave because they don't have family around or they've passed on, unfortunately, like whatever the circumstances.
Right, yeah.
The reason I bring this up is because basically your situation is exactly how Thanksgiving went for me at the theater.
So you had someone argue in front of you too?
This family comes up and most of them are chill, but it was two brothers. And I believe it's like most brothers, these two did not get along. It was pretty apparent from their, body language walking up to me. So already I'm like, okay, what's going to happen? They come up. I think their names were like Greg and Jerry. Some like basic
Greg and Jerry.
Just basic 40-year-old white guy names. Just like whatever. They come up and it's like, hi guys, happy Thanksgiving. How's it going? It's just like, it's going good. Like the main brother. The other one's off to the side looking like passive aggressive as shit. And I guess Greg was just like, what does everyone want? Jerry opens his trap and says, I already told you what I want, Greg. And immediately my heart sank. I'm like, oh no. Oh no. Because I'm so uncomfortable. I'm just, they're just back and forth. Just like, you always do this. You always bring up this shit on Thanksgiving. You always, they're bickering with each other. It's like, I didn't ask to come here. I'm like,
I feel the secondhand embarrassment. I'm not even there.
So I'm over here like, do you guys want like a combo number 2? Like,
You just continue trying to do your job.
Like you're not trying to get involved either because it's not your business and you don't want to get started. You don't want to get trapped.
Dude.
But they won't like just accept reality and just be like, okay, hey, you hate your brother. Cool. Let me get you your food. Like, you can bigger while I'm off of the register, but let me get your food so I can get out of this wave of embarrassment.
So then I have a quick question. Did you wait until they were done arguing, or did you interrupt?
A little bit. I like tried to interrupt when it wasn't going to be as big a deal. So I'm just like, hey, did you want a cherry Coke or did you want a Coke Zero? And he's just like, I can't fucking believe. I'll take a cherry Coke. Thank you very much. I can't fucking believe you, Jerry. And I'm just sitting here.
No, I had the balls to go like, excuse me. I can just get y'all a cherry Coke. They were like, "Oh, that's perfect, thank you."
But yeah, it was pretty much the same situation. So it ended up being a very fun time. But it was just like, "Oh my god, are you serious?"
I don't understand people that choose to argue in public. It's just like y'all could have did this in the car.
The holidays are a tense time for everyone.
Yeah,
so
that too.
That's usually the only reason is just because it's like you're fed up with all the bullshit. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay. Now I have a really weird question for you that's not even related. So I need to work on my segues. But here's a quick question from somewhere. Do you have a favorite number? And if so, is there like a particular reason why? Or is it just, I like this number? If you can think of one.
7.
Why 7? Is it like your lucky number?
No. I have a reason. I was just going to be like, oh, it looks cool. I don't know. Like, it basically looks cool. It's like the main reason. But I don't know. There's like things that kind of remind me of other stuff when I think of 7. Like 7 was a good age. When I was 7 years old, I was vibing. It was pretty cool.
Life was different.
I didn't understand divorce at the time, so it wasn't a big deal when my parents split. So I was just kind of like, oh, 2 Christmases. Like, yeah.
Wait, were you like young?
I was like 6, 7 when they split up. So I was just like, but I didn't understand it at the time.
Okay.
So it didn't like affect me as much. It still sucked. But
yeah, I'm sure.
But then, like I said, it would just be like, ooh, 2 Christmases. Like, yeah, like, twice as much toys. Like,
yeah.
It was cool. But then, like, and then because my brain is fucking weird and works weird. Do you know Schoolhouse Rock?
Yeah.
They had a multiplication series because of numbers. And the song they did for the number 7 was Lit. And I like that song.
Do you remember like how it goes or no?
Yeah, but I'm not gonna say it. Okay, if anyone's curious, if you're listening, it's Lucky 7 Samson. It's on YouTube.
I'll just say
it's this rabbit with the number 7 on his foot, and that's how I know the multiplication table for 7 is because of that goddamn song. It's like, you multiply 7 times 1. You got 7 days to get that job done or some shit. And I'm like,
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, a wave of nostalgia just hit me for a second.
Dude, I loved Schoolhouse Rock growing up. Like that, see, school would be better if you did shit like Schoolhouse Rock.
Even in high school. I
still remember certain things because of School Rock, and I'm a sophomore in college.
Same. Dude, do you remember in econ, like, I think it was our senior year, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was senior year at econ. I remember this.
The class was chaotic.
No, it wasn't econ. It was U.S. history. You weren't in there. But I remember,
teacher, different.
Yeah. It was weird because I had him twice a day. He forgot half the time. So, like, it's like I would walk in. He's like, hey, Ryan, for my 4th period. Then I come back 6th. And he's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Exactly.
I get you twice a day.
But he played a Schoolhouse Rock song, like, I'm just a bill.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. I specifically know how our government works, like, the basics of it, just because of that.
Mm-hmm.
I still remember it because of that.
Did you ever see... I got a fever dream because of this one. Did you ever see... They made a spin-off of Schoolhouse Rock, and it was Schoolhouse Rock Earth. And it was all about... It was like an Earth Day version of School Rock, and they made all new songs and all that about nature and the planet and recycling and all this. And the reason why I bring this up to you is because I know you're a Disney Channel fan, as am I.
Yes, sir.
And you know the song 3 is a Magic Number? It's like 3... is a magic number.
Yeah, I believe so.
Mitchell Musso made a new song, did a somewhat of a cover of the original, and made it all about the 3 R's of reduce, reuse, and recycle. That shit went hard. And hey, I'm over here as an 11-year like 333 is a magic 333 in my basement just rocking out to that shit.
Dude, hey, I will say this to the day I die. Mitchell Musso was low key underrated on Disney Channel, bro.
Yes, sir.
He really was.
Yes, sir.
I mean, he only got like fired or whatever because he got a DUI while he was filming Pair of Kings. Hence why like Adam Hicks came.
Oh wait, is that why Adam Hicks replaced him?
Yes, because Disney was like, we don't like that.
Get the fuck out of here.
So like at like the last minute, they were like, "Yo, Adam, you want to do a show?" They're like, he was like, "I guess."
And then they had to write it into the show. That's
they literally
like,
had
here's
to
your lost brother. I'm like,
no, they had to write some bullshit in. Like it was. God, and I didn't even know that until a few years ago. I was always so curious.
Didn't know that till now. I was today years old when I found that out.
But yeah, no, he got treated horribly.
Yeah.
Like, man, he made one mistake. Like, that's not gonna like.
Yeah, but
I don't know.
Disney's very careful with their brand. They don't want anything to tarnish it. Period.
Trust me, I feel like that's why they haven't brought anybody like Miley Cyrus or Demi Lovato for anything.
Did you see Santa's Workshop by Disney? It's
no.
It is racist as shit.
Really? How
okay, so if you find the original, it's pretty bad.
Okay.
It's on DisneyPlus now, but they obviously edited it and remastered it and got rid of all the hey, this was made in the 40s, so it was okay at the time.
Yeah.
Not that it's okay ever, but just
right.
It was a different time. There was this doll. And they had a bunch of these little white dolls with red hair. And the joke was there was another one that's supposed to be a black doll. And it wasn't brown. It was the color black, like these microphones.
Oh.
And had the big bright red lips around it and said, "Hiya, Santa." And walked away and did this little jig.
Ooh.
Oh, when I found that out, I'm like, ooh.
That's not good.
Yeah. That's why
good.
the animated Dumbo isn't on there because of the crows.
I thought it is. They just edited it out, didn't they?
I can't remember at don't roast me in the comments if I'm wrong.
I feel like it's still on there. They just I
know the live action was on Disney Plus.
It was so horrible. I couldn't even finish it anyway. But
the animated one, I keep forgetting. If it's on there, they definitely edited the part out with the crows. Or if it's not on there, they refuse to put it on there.
If they didn't, I feel like they'll put an asterisk on it and say, "Hey, there's some things in here that we don't agree with now." Like,
yeah, I think that's the only reason why the original isn't on there, though.
Okay. Yeah, no,
they're on there for a decent amount of time though, so that's probably the big thing. Is like if they edited it, a huge chunk of the movie is just going to be missing.
Right, exactly. So like, I feel like they couldn't really edit stuff like that out.
So it's just easier not to put it on the app at all.
That, or they'll just put like hey, just so you know,
yeah,
there's some racist stuff in here. We don't agree with it, but we want your money, so like, so you can watch it. So, like,
yeah.
But speaking of, whoa, what was that sound? Anyway, speaking of Disney Plus,
God.
But what do you think of Disney Plus as a streaming service? Like, how do you feel about it?
It's a lot like HBO Max lately. Both of them still have a lot of bugs to work out. Disney Plus is a lot smoother than it used to be, but it's still like you can literally click the rewind button for 10 seconds and it'll take it sometimes 5 minutes to load that. Even though you already watched something that happened 10 seconds ago.
You just wanted to see something funny.
Yeah, if it's a movie that I was rewatching, like in Pixar, like if it's Incredibles, for example, just easy example, best Pixar movie ever. Point is like, if I wanted to like see the, coincidence, I think not. If I wanted to see that scene again, and I just wanted to see his face again and just click the rewind, there's times where Disney Plus, it's just like loading. I'm like, I know I've already seen this movie about 75 separate occasions, but like
still, like it's still annoying. Yeah,
like, and my thing is with HBO Max, it gets a little bit of a slide because the app didn't just come out, but like on Roku, for example, it just came out, so it's going to be a little glitchy. and it's still a relatively new streaming service. It's only been around for a few months. Don't quote me on that in case I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But last I checked, it's only been around for a few months at best. Whereas Disney Plus, it's been out for over a year. So now I'm kind of like, all right, Disney, I know you're working on stuff, but in the meantime, maybe just take a day where nobody can use Disney Plus for a day, and you're just working out all the kinks, I should say.
Yeah, for sure.
So, but as an app, it's good. It's just right now. It's not that there's nothing on there because their originals aren't garbage. It's just for the mass.
Debatable.
Some things I'm like, yeah, okay, I don't care.
Well,
I would say that it's not that it's garbage. It's just.
Well, no. The Lady in, or what's the fucking thing? Lady and the Tramp, the whole live action thing they did.
That's
that
garbage.
Was absolute booty cheeks. That like I don't even know why.
But I'm saying stuff like Inside Pixar or Pixar in Real Life, like those are just fun little. They did stuff, or like Inside Pixar is really good. It's like an in-depth look at certain people that work for Pixar and like how they're kind of bringing about change in the. Excuse me, sorry. In the studio. Mm-hmm. So like the first episode was with Kemp Powers. He was the co-director and co-writer of Soul, and it was kind of how he had a lot of input into Soul and like how he went about his stuff. There's a person on there that's talking about how they create the gender balance at the studio.
Yeah.
And they did the research and the stats and showed like, hey, this movie is 99% male characters with all the lines and 1% female with like one side character that's female that has a line. We should fix that, which is really interesting to see because the fact that they have somebody up there that took the time to go through each one and do the math and do all the stats and be like, okay, here's what we should do moving forward. Cool series. But then something where they do one of the live action remakes and they do it for Disney Plus. Yeah, I'm going to be like, ugh. What they need to do is just, and we know they're doing it, but it's just until you have like WandaVision on there, you have more shows that people actually want to see, like the masses want to see. Right now it's like, okay, hey, you get to relive nostalgia with some of your old favorite childhood movies, or you get to experience certain stuff like The Simpsons on streaming, which wasn't really, it was on Hulu and I think it still is, but it wasn't really the same.
Yeah. So I think I do agree with you, but I think its like main issue was its exclusives because really the only thing it had going for it as of right now is The Mandalorian.
And a lot of people dropped their subscription after season 1 ended
and then picked it back up. I mean, like literally the guy that we hung out with the other night at our friend's house while we were playing Smash, he was like, "Yeah, I only bought it for The Mandalorian. Once I was done with it, I just dropped it back off."
Yeah.
And then now it's back again. He's like, okay, I'm going to get it again. But again, that was last year for season 1. So it was like, they just need to make, and it's like they do have exclusives, but then their exclusives and stuff like Lady and the Tramp, the live action thing, or High School Musical, the series. Like
that's pretty bad, yeah.
Like, I mean, actually, depending on who you ask, it's actually kind of good, but I don't know. Like,
it's not for me,
right? Yeah, but like, it's like that's really all it has going for it. So I feel like until we get Loki, What If, WandaVision,
like all the Marvel stuff, all the Star Wars originals, even Pixar is working on original stuff for the app. Like they're making an animated series for the first time.
Yeah, that's actually really cool.
And it was a really cool concept and all that. We're not seeing it till 2023, but like, hey, it's coming.
Yeah, it's coming.
But after Disney Investor Day, they showed off all the stuff that we're getting, and they're definitely focused on Disney Plus right now, just until it's safe again to really go to the theater.
For sure. Kind of like, I guess, our last segment for here. While we're on the topic of streaming services and stuff. So, you and I, we recently watched Wonder Woman 1984 on HBO Max. It was funny because it was literally 2 nights ago. And
yeah, Jesus.
Yeah, and like, I was actually going to leave. But
yeah, I just wanted to see a few minutes of it because I was gonna watch it that night and you were gonna head out, and then all of a sudden it's like halfway in, I'm like, oh yeah, you're still here. That's right.
I was like, I got invested.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to give like, I guess like your quick thoughts on the movie as a whole. So like, as a movie, how do you feel about it? Because there's a lot of mixed reviews going on. Like my mom hated it. Like she told me this morning, and I was like, I mean, if you appreciate it for what it is, it's not that bad. You know what I mean? Like for me as a DC person, I know the origin of Wonder Woman. So for what they did in the movie, right? I was like, oh, this was cool. Like, okay, like they did their best. But to a casual viewer, they're like, the fuck just happened? You know? so how do you feel about it?
So this is like the Spark Notes review, because I do plan on doing a full review for that movie at one point on my own channel. Revival coming soon. Head ass. We'll see. I don't know. But point is, if we're doing like quick review on Wonder Woman here, overall, Wonder Woman 84, a big piece of it definitely was downgraded because I saw the first movie in theaters on the big screen. The first one was good, except for like the third act was kind of weak. But overall, it was one of the best ones out of the DCEU, out of the shared universe they were making. And it was great. This one, a big part of me was sad that it was on the TV at my house. It's not that I did not enjoy it because of that, but it definitely took a minute to get adjusted because I'm used to it being in the pitch black theater and the big seats with my big soda and my big popcorn. I'm just like, ooh, like, let's check it out. Or hell, you and me would probably be sitting in there right now watching it if it was safe. So it was just So that definitely was something I had to get used to. So at first I was like, part of my brain was like, man, this sucks. But I'm like, no, it doesn't. It just had to get adjusted.
I think like one thing was just the decisions that they were making, like both story wise.
In the movie itself, I was not overly impressed with this. Its approach to what it was trying to do felt very by the books, and not that that's bad, because you can do a lot with going by the books. That's how a lot of people get their starts even.
Yeah.
But when you made Wonder Woman, which was like such a big deal at the time, it was a big movie. It was like, oh, this is great. And then you got 1984 where it's like, okay, like, cool. I don't know. It had a good message. It had a lot of good themes. I wasn't overly excited about some of the characters, like how they chose to portray Cheetah, or how they even like Maxwell Lord, the villain, his motivation is pretty basic.
Yeah, I mean,
that that's bad.
Like his adaptation was fine, and
this movie didn't do anything mind blowing.
Right? Yeah,
it was good. There were things I didn't like about it, sometimes more than what I did like about it, but it was actually based on like the old 70s Superman movies was a big inspiration, so I appreciated that because I loved those movies growing up.
Right,
but it was like anywhere from like a 6 to a 7 out of 10. It wasn't anything bad. It's just it reminds me a lot of Ant-Man and the Wasp from Marvel. Nothing with that movie is really that bad. It's not a bad movie. Marvel didn't miss. Like, they still did a good job. It's just, it's kind of a filler movie almost.
Yeah.
And with DC, they have that like anytime that you review a movie with the DCEU, especially if you're like a big fan of that and you're like really invested over like a casual viewer, you kind of have to take it in context with the rest of the universe because of its shared universe aspect. That's something you have to keep in mind with these movies. Yeah. Just like with Marvel, whenever they release something, especially when you know when it's supposed to take place, if it's like a prequel or something, like Black Widow. Yeah. You have to keep in mind that this is going to take place in between Civil War and Infinity War. So you got to keep in mind what was going on in that time and around the universe. So this is a story set in that time. Wonder Woman 84, you got to do the same thing. It has a lot of leeway because it's in a time period in this universe that they were making that wasn't really explored.
Yeah, like that's another like complaint I had about it was it's called 1984, so it's like it's mid 80s right now, and you barely played with that idea that it's the 80s.
I disagree. They really did.
Are you sure? But like,
it was almost down your throat at times with like, oh, look at all of our outfits and look at the bright colors and look at like.
I mean, like, I feel like they only really did it when, like, her love interest came in and was all like, "This is the clothes that you wear." I was like,
"That's fair."
I mean, like, I feel like that's where the only reason, or like that was the only place they really played with it. They could have had music from the like from the 80s. We could have had scenes of like, you know, classic 80 themes, and, you know, putting what's her name, Diana, in those situations. Like we could have had a lot of different transitional scenes, but they only played with that idea for such a short time. And granted, I know that there was a lot to swallow. First of all, there's 2 villains, you know, already.
Which one of them was like a side villain anyway.
Exactly. So it's like, I know that there was a lot to swallow, but they still could have did something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Someone actually brought this up about Aquaman versus Wonder Woman, like on Twitter. It was something like that, or on Instagram or something, some social media site. And they were talking about they're kind of sick of watching in movies like Aquaman or Wonder Woman 84 where they have the villain and then another big villain of that character acts as sort of a lackey to the villain of that movie. Mm-hmm. And they're like, that's kind of not giving those characters the spotlight they deserve. Aquaman didn't really do that, though. They were obviously setting him up for another movie. Wonder Woman 84, without getting into spoilers, they kind of waste one of the characters. For sure. Also did not represent them well at all. Like, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of hard talking about without going into the nitty gritty.
Right. Yeah. I just wanted to, like, for people that are listening to it, and because it's still such a fresh new thing. Like, if this came out a year, like, if we were talking about this a year from now, I'd have been like, you had enough time to see the movie. We're gonna go deep dive into it.
Exactly. But, yeah. It's like you would still want to probably throw up a spoiler warning, but it would still just be like, hey, like, if you didn't see it, that's not my fault. Like,
right.
Wonder Woman 84 is a B+. It's
I agree.
Good. Yeah. It could be better.
It could have been, especially in certain themes that I was talking about, it could have been way better.
But it had a lot going for it. Like, cinematography was really good, and there was a lot of really well acted moments. Like, Gal Gadot is still a highlight. She's amazing as Wonder Woman.
She was amazing in both movies. It's really not her fault half the time as to why this is lackluster.
Most of the time, it's not an actor's fault. It's usually the writing or directing.
Mm-hmm. But
speaking of fresh movies, you just watched Soul before this podcast.
Oh yeah, well.
We just watched it like literally like an hour ago.
Yeah, because we still got some time. But
oh man, my thoughts on Soul, again, without spoiling it, right? I think Soul, it's not my new favorite Pixar movie. Like, by far. That's still going to be The Incredibles, because that's just such a...
You can't beat The Incredibles.
It's such a solid... It's almost a perfect movie. Like, I can watch that 20 times in a row and still be entertained, right? But with Soul, the thing that I really appreciate about this movie was that they really... Well, first of all, they didn't do something like Princess and the Frog, for example, where there's a lead black character, but the lead black character is only in 10% of the movie. Mm-hmm. The rest of it, they're a frog. Literally a frog. Like,
and while that's still a good movie, I know what you're talking about. Where it's like the one time that there's good representation on a big platform like this, and you waste it with a fucking frog. Like,
right. Like, it was still... I love the movie. Don't get me wrong. But, like, if you're really trying to tell more black-centered character stories, then do that. But what I appreciated with Soul is that they did a mix of what the premise was and still showing a black character in Pixar.
There's really good representation. And Pixar doesn't shove it down your throat either. Too. Right. It feels natural. They want the representation and all that. They're focused on the story, period. That's the first and foremost thing they're always focused on. And then they implement those details in and make sure when they use details, they get the right shit. They do it correctly.
Exactly.
Like, they go to those locations that they want to use. They experience that culture. Like, their upcoming movie, Luca. It's set on the Italian Riviera. The art directors and everyone involved with, like, the art design, even the director, went to his hometown in the Italian Riviera and drew and took pictures and used all that and knew the details they wanted to put in. Mm-hmm. Because they wanted to get it right. Just like Coco.
Exactly.
They did the same exact thing with Coco, and it doesn't feel like pandering. It feels like they're trying to tell really good stories and give you good representation.
Right. And highlight a specific culture.
Without being like, look, we're not racist. Like, we're not shoving it in your face.
Exactly, yeah.
It doesn't feel like, oh, they're trying too hard. No.
Because, like, we just watched it together. Like, you literally saw me laugh at certain things that, like, you were like, what's so funny? I was like, they just caught something that was so accurate about being black.
There's a lot of idiosyncrasies in there where I'm not going to get it because I don't have that experience.
And also, aside from being good representation for being black. Well, I mean, like, not like all of being black, but like, you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. But aside from that, it was also a good allegory of life in general. Like, we see our two main characters. One is afraid to live life, and one barely begun their life because they were too focused.
It was a very adult themed movie. Like,
it's like kids can still enjoy it. The colors in this movie are great.
There's funny gags.
There's funny gags.
Like, ha, ha.
There's one joke in there. I don't want to spoil it. But,
we had to pause the movie for a minute.
We had to pause. We were laughing for like 5 minutes. But I think this is definitely a Pixar movie that adults will definitely enjoy.
This is more viewed for them because there's always... Like, that's what I love about them, too, because animation is not exclusively for children. That may have been, one of the original contents or intentions, and still to this day is a huge driving factor because they know kids are going to be like, ooh, bright colors, poop jokes, ah.
Right.
But, like, you can still do animated things and tell adult stories. Hell, look at Simpsons, Family Guy, all that. That's all animation, but that's for adults.
Exactly.
And that's what I love about Pixar is whether the film is a little more centered on, like, a kid, especially if the protagonist is a kid and all that. Mm-hmm. Like Coco. Coco is something that you can still really love as a kid, but also really appreciate as an adult. And that's why Pixar means a lot to me too, because it's like even growing up, like I loved Toy Story and Incredibles and all that when I was a kid. I love them even more now because there's so much more I understand about them.
Yeah.
But all those other movies had a lot more like things that kids could appreciate a lot more. Now you look at Soul, I'm like, literally the main character dies.
Probably like 3 times too. Like it was like wow.
Within the first 10 minutes, the character dies.
And they literally say death.
They say die, death.
Like
they say heaven and hell in it. Like they're not holding back, and I just
exactly
it was fresh. It was something different, and it's also nice that it's an original story instead of like Toy Story 5.
I was about to say, I was like, because like, again, Toy Story 4, Pixar, I will say this in the camera, y'all got lucky.
but don't do it again.
Don't do it again. I don't need a Toy Story 5. It's cool that you're doing some Buzz Lightyear thing. That's cool.
I was hyped for that.
But do not do a Toy Story 5. I will personally come in the studio and be like, what are y'all thinking? There's so many other things you could have done. Hell, reboot one of the things you canceled. I don't care. Just don't do Toy Story 5.
They have a lot of good stuff that was canceled too, so I'm like...
Like, I don't care. Just don't do Toy Story 5. All right, do add something to the Monsters University thing, or
I've really wanted like a Monsters Inc. 2, honestly, because like you look at all these other movies, and technically there was a Monsters Inc. 2, but it was a prequel.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. It's like I want to see what happens after they take over the company. I want to see
Boo as a grown up.
That could be the third movie. I don't care. Just
call it Boo.
Literally, dude, you are missing an opportunity. Do it as an adult, seriously. Or I mean, like I think we just like watched a video on this, but like they were planning like a Monsters Inc. 2 where what's their names? Sully and
What's their name?
Mike,
the G,
the Mike
Wazowski.
Dude, the meme just came into my head, like the thing where his face is photoshopped on Sully's face. But where like they were gonna go into the human world and surprise Boo for her birthday, but then Boo moves. So then they'd spend the whole movie trying to go find Boo, which also kind of tears up their own best friendship as well. And I was like, that was a cool premise. They can still do that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but just don't do Toy Story 5. That's all I'm asking.
Yeah. But yeah, Soul was really good.
Yeah.
And what a shock. It's Pixar. Like, come on.
Pixar does not miss. I mean, hold on.
They missed once, but we're not talking about it. Cars 2.
I'm sorry, what movie are we talking about?
Cars 2.
Sorry, what's that?
Oh, you're right. Yeah, I got you. Yeah. I mean, no, Pixar never misses.
No, they just don't miss. Nah, they're fucking good.
These motherfuckers don't miss.
Nah, he's good. In the heat of battle, they don't miss.
In the heat of controversy, they don't miss.
No. Anyway, guys, that about wraps up this episode of the ToastOnRye Podcast. Again, big shout out to my boy Bailey for coming on for another episode.
Thanks for having me again, bro.
Oh, for sure, man. You are welcome anytime, bro.
Sounds
Anytime.
good.
All right. Well, you can find Bailey. He's also a small YouTuber as well. You can find him at youtube.com/BTLB. You can find.
I'm doing the Price is Right thing, like it's right here. Like, oh.
You can also follow him on Instagram and Twitter at BTLBBat and Bailey T. Laird. And you can also follow me as well. That was so shameless. But you can follow me on Instagram, Ryan L. Patton, and ToastOnRye. You can follow me on Twitter at ToastOnRyan. You can follow me on TikTok at ToastOnRye. All that good stuff. And if you overall enjoyed, please leave a like on YouTube and subscribe. If you're listening to this on the go, give me a subscribe and follow on any not social media, any streaming platform that you're listening to this on. And thanks for coming on. Thanks for hanging out with us, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.